morning, guys. Welcome to TMMK at Home. I'm Coach Mackenzie, and today we have a 10-minute core workout. You will need a band and a mat. As always, this is intended for fitness center members only, and if you are not a member, please enjoy this workout at your own risk. Let's get started. Making our way down to the mat. One of my favorite moves that you often see me do is this low boat hold with some variations in between. So we are going to do just that. That mini band is going to draw right past those wrists on those forearms, palms facing each other. You're going to add tension away from each other, so activating those shoulders, okay? Now, there's two variations. We can either hold the low boat right here. We can make it less difficult by dropping our feet to the floor, or more difficult by holding a hollow position, okay? What we're doing is adding a little bit of movement, so tension in the wrist, pulling out and pulling in. If you have a regular resistance band and not a mini resistance band, it's okay. Just grab and pull apart, all right? So let's lean back. We got 15 presses all together, nice and slow, okay? So hips underneath me, ribs down, I'm bracing my core, elbows tucked in nice and tight to that body, back of the palms away from each other, palms facing you. Ready? Lean back into your variation. Let's press up from the chest into the ceiling. 2, 3, each exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. 5. Good, you can variate here, modify with those heels down, or hold it here. 9, 10, 11, 12, to the ceiling, 14, 15. Good. Relax, doing the same motion but with a twist, a modified Russian twist. So same thing, heels are either down, up into parallel, or in a hollow hold. Okay, tension in the back of the hands, rotating here, back to center, then the other side. Okay? We got 10 all together, so 5 on each side. Let's start it off. Take this nice and slow, and I want you to focus on your shoulders rotating and moving in that lower body, staying completely still. Okay? Anti-rotation in the lower body. Just the T-spine is rotating. Okay? Let's start out with a lean back, press out ahead. Ready? Lean to the left and center. Right. Center. Good. Exhaling with each breath, I'm pausing at the movement on each side. That's 2. Come on. 3. Hold. 4. Double check that you are leaned back enough that you should feel it. Last one on each side. Good job, guys. Relax. Now, a big part of your core is your glutes, and people often don't associate the two, but it is extremely important. Our pelvis is extremely important for our core strength and setting ourselves up. So we're going to do a dead bug variation, or a glute bridge first. We will get to the dead bugs. That band is just above the knee. We're coming into a glute bridge on the floor. Okay, so knees wide over those shoelaces, toes face ahead. Hips are tucked underneath us, ribs are down, pivoting from the bottom of the rib cage. Tuck that chin in, lifting those hips up and pushing those knees out at the same time. Let's lift for 15. Pausing at the top, 1, and down. 2, 3, good. Our arms are used just for balance. There shouldn't be a lot of weight in them. It's just to the touch, out to the side. You can also use your kinesthetic cues, okay? Using that hand on that abs to feel mind-muscle connection. You squeeze, think about those abs. Touching them might help you do that. 7, push through those heels. 8, entire foot on the floor. 9, this isn't a big movement. Hips under. Good, 5 more. 1, big exhale. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 15, good job guys. Moving on to that dead bug variation, still staying on our backs. That mini band is gonna come around those shoelaces and around the bottoms of those shoes. We're laying back down, a nice and flat stomach, flat back with the floor, okay? So I'm lifting my knees up, should already rotate my hips back and make that back nice and flat. My arms are gonna come up right on top of my shoulders. My palms are gonna face each other. I'm gonna, just like the dead bug, however, 2 variations. We could do a normal dead bug, so shins parallel with the floor and the ceiling, alternating opposite arm and opposite leg. If you're really good at the dead bug and you wanna make this more advanced, go ahead and take those hands lightly behind the head and cross over, crunch, and back, okay? We're doing 10 on each leg, so 20 together. I want you to have a big exhale and pause at the bottom of the movement. We ready? Let's start. 1, back down the center. 2, or you could be here. 3, alternating arms. 4, 5, 6, drive that elbow to that knee. 7, have control on the way back too. You don't want that band to jolt that foot back. Take it nice and slow. Don't use the momentum of the band. Actively push the band away from you and then actively bring the band back into that starting position. Halfway there, double check that your hips are still tucked under. Our ribs are down, our hips are underneath us. Our low back is pressed into that floor, nice and snug. Come on. Flexing the feet, push the back of the foot away from you and return. One more, each side. Good, and relax. Notice how we don't fly through a bunch of movements all at one time with the core. We want to take it nice and slow and move with purpose, okay? We're going to take the band around our hands again, flopping over onto our stomachs in that prone position. Again, our back is really an essential part of our core, and we're not going to forget about it, okay? Band around the wrists, you're going to pull out into a star and then back together. My feet are separating about a foot and then coming back together to that star. Make sure your movement happens from the glutes and not the knee, okay? So nice and straight leg. Movement is small off the floor. Just a little movement up, squeeze, and back. Are we ready? 10 together, let's go. Up and down. You can also add the band to the bottom half of this movement. It could be around those ankles. It can activate those glutes a little more. Right now, we're working our upper back and the lower back between those legs. This is 6, 7, 8. Keep that gaze on the floor. You don't want to arch up. Last one. And relax. Nice job, guys. One more movement is a psoas march. Much like that dead bug variation, but we're flipping it over. Okay, so we are in that plank position and we're driving one knee to the corresponding elbow. So right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow. We have 10 on each side. Let's set up our plank nice and good. Hands directly underneath those shoulders. My gaze is just on the floor out in front, nice and relaxed, okay? I'm pushing up into a plank position, a nice straight line from my heels all the way to my head, okay? If this is too much, you're just gonna hold this here. We're gonna add a psoas march, so taking right and left. It's important that just my abs are bringing that knee in. I'm not rising the hips as I do so to make it easier, okay? Fight, push down, squeeze those quads, the core, down, okay? So core, quads, and glutes, turn on, let's hit 10. 1, 2. My feet are about a foot away from each other. 4, 5, 6. Big exhale. 'My band's coming off. Always pay attention to that. Don't just keep going so the band will fly off. Flex that foot. 1 more. And relax. Kind of should put a disclaimer too. Anytime you're working with bands, double check that they are okay, that there's no rips, tears, or discoloration on them, that you're not stretching them over 2.5 times their normal resting size, and that when they are on your foot or on your hand, that they are secure in some type of way. A lot can happen if a band snaps. It can hit you in the face, in the eye. Just be careful when working with bands and be smart, okay? Thanks for joining me.